She's leaning over like this with this cleavage, I mean, almost everything revealed. And Sophia Loren, who had quite a cleavage on her own, is like this, looking into her cleavage like, oh my God. That's what she did with Jane Russell. That's what got her on the map, not as an actress, but as a movie star.
I'm sure that Jayne Mansfield came to Hollywood determined, they all do. If you don't come prepared to kill the competition, don't come.
And so I think she very calculatedly decided that this is the pathway. She understood what the images were. She understood that people are typecast, that stereotypes run the show, and so that she was going to play into that stereotype.
I think Jayne Mansfield got into Hollywood because of her extraordinary shape. Jayne Mansfield was nearly a comic book creation. She's almost a drawn figure. The director with whom she was most closely associated in those early films, Frank Tashlin, was a comic book artist, and I think that's what he saw in her.
Labeled by Time magazine, Sex on the Rocks.
Jayne's first part was in Female Jungle. It was a walk-on part for Frank Tashlin, for which she was paid $100.
How have you been, honey?
What she literally did was go out and buy a ticket to go and watch herself on the movie screen, which was an amazing moment for her. For her, it was a life-changing experience to see herself 20 feet high on the movie screen.
She's a man-crazy blonde.
Fire in your lips, and you can be tender when you want to.
The 1950s represent the second generation of women movie stars, those who were born in the 30s and come of age in the 50s. It's after World War II. There are developing, I think, more restrictions on images of women in film.
Basically, Jayne Mansfield flaunted the code to the degree that she did through comedy. And comedy is always the easier way of getting around things. If you make a joke, it's a little more acceptable. And Frank Tashlin made fun of Jayne Mansfield's breasts, basically, which was not perhaps the kindest thing to do to her.
6 weeks. Oh, easy, Fats. It takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day.
She ain't Rome. What we're talking about is already built.
But in an age where there was this incredible repressed lust for the breast, and just waiting for it to burst out, hers were the biggest and the closest to breaking out of any, and it was a joke.
And man, oh, Mansfield. Jayne Mansfield, that is.
But the formula worked, and under Tashlin's direction, her next film, The Girl Can't Help It, was a box office hit. Jayne was co-starring with the rock and roll stars of the day and relishing the niche she created with her sex appeal.
Sex appeal is a wonderful, warm, womanly, healthy feeling. If you're a woman, it's womanly. If you're not, it's manly.
Does it come from inside, Miss Mansfield?
It comes only from inside. It is nothing that's manufactured. It has nothing to do with measurements or lipstick color. To me, it's cleanliness and youth and an effervescent desire to enjoy life. That's what sex appeal is to me. It's sort of the vibrancy that you find present in a young kitten.
But she is the perfect embodiment of that moment when the censorship is still controlling it, but you feel the ground shaking.
Oh, I've been in men's bedrooms before.
But back home, Paul was finding Jayne's growing status as a sex symbol too much.
And I could see that she was going places, and that was good for her. Really, this wasn't what I had bargained for.
But everyone figures me for a sex pot. No one thinks I'm equipped for motherhood.
The understanding between them was always very clear. He had one perception of life and of what family should be, and Jayne had a diametrically opposite feeling about that.
Paul was supportive to appease Jayne, but I don't think that he honestly truly believed that she was going to take off the way that she did.
it wasn't right. It seemed wrong.